it's demonstration time. I've got some water right here, and in this hand I've got some oil. And when you pour one into the other, it goes in okay, but you notice it doesn't really mix. That's what happens in a blended family. You take one substance, you take another, you put it together. It tries to blend, but it's really, really hard. You know, they say that the predominant family is the blended family, but not every blended family is as perfect as the Brady Bunch. That's exactly the case with my first couple, Rob and Samantha. They are on the verge of divorce because of their blended family issues. Now, Samantha thinks that her husband favors their 4-year-old son, Robbie, and that he is only concerned with Robbie's world. Take a look.
Our household feels as though there are two families.
My wife, her 2 kids, and her sister, and then the other family is myself, my wife, and our youngest son, Robbie.
I do think Rob favors Robbie more than the other children. Rob is very affectionate with Robbie, plays with him, interacts with him. His undivided attention is to Robbie all the time.
When I walk in from work, I could barely get the door open before I could hear Robbie yelling, "Daddy, Daddy, Daddy." My stepchildren will be in the same exact room, and they won't even turn and look at me. I don't ever see anything loving coming from my stepchildren.
The other kids feel that Rob treats Robbie as if Robbie's a prince.
You ding dong.
Robbie, don't say that word. Rob will let Robbie play video games for hours on end. Robbie can watch whatever he wants to on TV. Robbie can eat whatever he wants. Robbie can snack whenever he wants. But Rob is very hard on my son, Gianni.
Look at him being a pig over there.
Hey, you should call someone a pig.
Rob sees Gianni as a crybaby. Gianni's not tough enough, the mama's boy. Gianni's whiny.
Sam babies Gianni a lot. I'm trying to make him into a man.
There's times Gianni is really hurt, and I say, Rob, you really hurt his feelings. Can you please go up there and talk to him and say, I'm sorry you're hurt? Nope, won't do it.
Sam and I argue pretty much on a day-to-day basis about the different ways that I treat Robbie in comparison to how I treat my stepchildren.
All the arguing with Rob has had a huge impact on our marriage. We only talk about money and the kids. If things don't change, ultimately, I think that unfortunately it will end up in divorce.
Do you perceive that this is headed for divorce?
Yes.
If something doesn't happen?
Yes.
Okay, now, and you've said that. You literally see saying, look, I cannot do this anymore. I will not subject these children to this unfair treatment, so I'm going to actually go to the courthouse, fill out the papers, get a divorce.
Yes.
Okay, so look, forget about everything for a minute. I just want to get down to real basic common sense. This doesn't have to go this direction, does it? I mean, do you really think that this situation can only be resolved by divorce?
I've always hoped that there's another way to do this, but it's come to a dead end.
Do you want this to work out?
I think we're missing communication and connections with one another and with all the children.
Do you feel the same connection with Gianni and Talia? And I won't even talk about Taylor yet. We'll get to that in a minute. Do you feel the same connection with them that you do with Robbie?
No.
Okay, so you don't feel as close to them.
No.
You don't have the bond with them. You don't have that connection that you're talking about with them. There is a hierarchy here. There's your son from your blood that you two have had together, and he's here, and these other kids are down here.
Well, I don't put them in that order. The connection that I don't feel is with me and the kids as well as I feel that they are toward me.
Okay, you're not being honest. You're starting to waffle. You do not feel as close to them as you do Robbie.
Yes.
That's your connection. You have to be honest here. You don't feel the closeness to those kids that you do to your own son. And it's ugly to say, but that's the truth.
Right.
Okay? Now, does it help to hear him admit that?
Yes.
What do you think about that? Why is it okay for you to hear that?
It's not okay to hear, it's true. I feel like some of the biological connection and the fact that my kids were a little bit older can make a little bit of a difference, but it breaks my heart.
But let me tell you why it is okay to hear and why it shouldn't break your heart. We live in this fantasy world that because you married the mother of these children, that all of a sudden you're their father. And that all of a sudden these kids that you just met, you didn't change their diapers, you didn't hold them, you didn't bond with them and feed them and pet them and rock them. They're just kids that happen to be with a woman that you started dating. And to just think because y'all went to the courthouse and filled out some paperwork that all of a sudden you've just got this paternal bond with them is a myth. It is a fantasy. It is not right, and it is not right to expect you to feel that. And it is not right for you to have your heart broken because he doesn't feel that. The fact that you fell in love with their mother doesn't mean that they fell in love with you. You're not a bad guy because you don't all of a sudden have this connection, this bond with those children. That's the first time anybody's ever said that to you, I'm sure.
Yes.
But how does that fit in your ear?
It makes sense to me. I don't think it's making sense to Sam because she's always saying the opposite to me.
Okay, but see, I have this theory that people know the truth when they hear it. You know, people can come tell you stuff and, you know, you can want to believe it and they can be really good at telling it. But there's this thing about us that we just know the truth when we hear it. We may not like it, but we know the truth when we hear it. Am I telling you the truth?
Yes.
You know that's
Yes.
right. It's not what you want to be true, because you want so desperately for those children to have that father figure. You want so desperately for him to make them feel special. You want so desperately for them to have that stability that you were unable to provide for them through their fathers.
Yes.
And so you've wanted him to be 10 feet tall in all things to all people and fill that void that you feel so guilty for not having done.
Yes.
And it's just unreasonable.
I know.
And you know that's true.
I do.
Now, I just told you the truth. And I got another truth for you. And this one you're going to like right after the break.
Rob does not communicate, he interrogates. Ask the same question in 20 different ways, cut you off in the middle of your sentence, almost like looking for holes in your position or argument.
The notion that I interrogate people, I think, is highly overblown. What I'm doing is trying to get the truth out of people.
But it's over the most ridiculous things. Who ran the dishwasher and didn't load it properly? I can understand why people confess to murder, because quite honestly, with you badgering me or the kids, I'd tell you whatever you want to hear just to make you stop.
Well, that was Samantha talking about how her husband, Rob, interrogates the family. Now, what did you expect from me today?
I was hopeful that in some way you would be able to help us or help sort everything out for us so that we could try to make our family stay together.
How am I doing so far?
So far, you're bringing some truth to light, which is good.
Okay, because you were kind of secretly hoping I'd give him a good ass whooping.
Deep down, I was.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. This is all about being honest today.
Yeah.
You thought you'd come in here and we're going to throw him under the bus because the fact that he comes in and hugs Robbie and doesn't even acknowledge the other two is a clear infraction, right?
Yeah.
So you thought, he's going to get it.
I hope so.
He's going to get it.
I figured I was going to get some too, though.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to you. Now, Samantha says that Rob gives out crazy punishments. Let's take a look at what she means.
Rob is a police officer, and he treats the children very much like a police officer, as well as myself. We argue over discipline almost daily.
Sam tells the kids that they're not allowed to do something, and then she lets them do it anyway. Whenever I discipline one of the children, I follow through.
There is no gray area. His punishments are always extreme and forever, literally. 2 years ago, Gianni had a Big Mac. Rob said, you better eat the whole thing or you're never getting a Big Mac again. Gianni didn't eat the whole thing. So we went to McDonald's this year to order a Big Mac, and Rob said, no, you're never having a Big Mac again, ever, and I mean ever.
It's very important to me not to waver regarding discipline. If you waver at all, the kids will see a weakness.
Rob's only form of punishment is grounding, grounding, grounding. The kids are not even learning the difference between a minor thing versus a big rule infraction.
I feel I'm being undermined in this house constantly by my wife.
I feel like our house is a police state.
You need to lighten up. Right?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
do you get that?
Yes.
Do you think I'm right about that?
Yes. I'm a little overbearing.
Yeah. And you're a cop. And so you interact a lot with people who are bad people. And so you can kind of just put everybody into that thing. But you can be a cop out there, but you need to be a dad at home.
Right.
These are not perps, these are children. I mean, it's the same way with me. You think I go home and Dr. Phil her? I can't tell you how many times Robin said, "Don't you Dr. Phil me."
That's right.
Because you ain't gonna get a commercial break here, buddy.
That's right.
Look, children's ability to project ahead into foresight is like 20 minutes. I mean, telling a kid he can't have a Big Mac for 3 years. I mean, come on. Lighten up. God, I guess if I get a parking ticket, you're gonna like blow my car up. And I'm gonna walk the rest of my life. I mean, you say, I'm trying to make a man out of him. He's 9. He's 9. I mean, come on. You're not a man at 9. You're right that you need to be consistent with your discipline. But since that's true, you need to be sure that your discipline is proportionate to the infraction. You don't give a life sentence over not cleaning their plate or something. You don't get a Big Mac the rest of your life because you didn't eat your peas. I mean, you got to get proportionate here. And I told you I was going to tell you a truth that you're going to like. There's actually 2. The second truth is, we ask y'all a million questions, right? And you were very forthcoming, both of you were very forthcoming and very straightforward. And my conclusion is that you two are wonderful parents. And these children are blessed to have you as their parents. So God bless you for caring and plugging in and doing a good thing. I mean, seriously, that is so great. The next truth is this. You must be fair with these children. You don't have the same connection with them that you do with your own child, your biological son. That's true, because relationships aren't assigned, they're built, they're learned. And you'll build a relationship with them over time, and you are now. You're building an adversarial relationship with them. They feel rejected by you, they feel punished by you, they feel disciplined by you. But here's the deal. You cannot be the primary discipline for these children because you're not their father. You have to be the primary disciplinarian. And that means if you disagree, if you think she coddles them, and I have no doubt that you do because she's trying to undo you. You over-discipline so she gets them to the side and says, it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right because we're going to go off here by ourselves pretty soon. We're going to get rid of him. I mean, that's the message they're getting. I guarantee you that's the message they're getting because you come in and go bark, 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 and say, oh, come over here. It's okay. Because you're trying to undo. You're trying to make up and say, somebody does love you. I know you don't feel loved when he comes home, and I know you don't feel loved when he lets Robbie call you a name. I know. And you're not only cheating them out of feeling special and safe in their own home, you're cheating your son, Robbie, terribly. Because trust me, older brothers and sisters will resent him. They already say Robbie's world. They will resent him. Now you're cheating him out of this feeling of family and this connection of having a brother and sister and all that he feels a part of, which is very important for him. So we got a lose-lose situation going on here.
Things are very uneven in our house. Gianni was sick and came and just laid in bed with me at 5 in the morning. Rob would be like hard about it. If Gianni had a nightmare, oh, Gianni, you need to toughen up. But Robbie sleeps in bed with us now. So it's kind of hypocritical.
Well, that was Samantha talking about another way she feels her husband is favoring their son, Robbie. Now, here's what we've agreed to so far, is that you are favoring him. Now, I said there were some things y'all didn't do right, the fact that you did wrong. Before you got married, you never really talked about this, did you?
No.
You just decided he's pretty cute, she's pretty cute, and we're pretty charming on a date, so we just assume that it'll work when we take these 6 personalities and throw them into one house.
Yes.
Well, that wasn't good.
No.
Okay, so we're talking about it now, and what we're talking about is the fact that there is a huge difference. That's okay. That just means you have to redouble your efforts to make sure that these kids go to bed at night saying, we belong here. We're welcome here. That man cares about us, he loves us, he protects us, and we don't have to feel like it's us versus him. That's what you want, right?
Yes.
In my view, you should sit down with each of those kids and you should say, you know what? I need to apologize to you because I haven't known exactly what to do. Because we've just gotten to know each other here over the last 4 or 5 years, and you were already, Talia was 9, Gianni was 4, Taylor's already like 11. So at that point, you can't be the disciplinarian, but you can support the woman who is. And you two need to sit down and negotiate what the rules are going to be. And you have to have emotional integrity because you think he's too harsh, you think she's too lenient. There's a lot of middle ground in there that you come up with. Here's what we're going to do. If these kids do A, the consequence is B. If they do C, the consequence is D. We're going to do that. And then you have to support each other in that. You can't say, well, all right, don't let him know. Because that sets it up, us against him. We got to say, no. We run this home together. And we have rules here. And the rules are going to get enforced the same whether you're the one that's there or you're the one that's there. But you have to be the disciplinarian for your own children. And let me tell you something. Talia and Taylor lives with you.
Yes.
You're a very significant person in those girls' lives. You can teach them about men. You can teach them about how they need to be requiring men to treat them with dignity and respect. You can be such a powerful role model for them. You can come in and you can hug Robbie. You need to put on your to-do list, I am going to go find Gianni, and I'm going to come in and say, hey, buddy, how you doing today? What's happening? You need to go find Talia. You need to go in there and say, hey, girl, what's going on? How was your day? It just needs to become part of your to-do list. You're Mr. Disciplinarian. Discipline yourself to do that, to deliver this for these children. The fact that you don't feel the same connection with them means that you need to work doubly hard to make sure that you treat them in a balanced way. You don't have to pretend that you have the same connection. I mean, we can set up this thing, okay, you're on a pier and 3 of them fall into water and you have 1 life preserver. Are you going to throw it to Robbie or Gianni or Talia? Who are you going to throw it to? Let's not do that, okay? Because we know the answer to that, okay? I mean, just be honest. So what you have to do is you have to discipline yourself to say, you know what? These children are living in my home, and I love their mother. And because I love their mother and because I respect their mother, and because I would not allow anybody in this world to disrespect her children, would you?
No.
I mean, would you let some neighbor come over there and bully those kids around or be ugly to those kids?
Absolutely not.
Because they're the children of the woman you love.
Right.
You would stand for those children for her. Then stand for those children for her with you. You need to decide, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make an effort to create some balance here. Okay, now, I'm going to talk to another family here. Everything I say to them is intended for you, just as everything I've said to you is intended for them. So we're building this up for all parents in a blended situations.
As a stepmom, it was really hard to enforce rules in the house because my husband at the time, he really felt like I was treating his daughter unfairly.
When I'm with my step-siblings, it is awkward because I don't know them. And I feel like I should know them because they've been my step-siblings for 15 years.
As a stepmother, when I bond with the boys, it's great. But what I find when they go back to their mother's house, it's like I've taken 5 steps back.
We both have issues with the other's children. For my part, I strongly disagree with her sense of discipline.
There's been so much tension between myself and almost all of his children. I'm seriously questioning the stability of our marriage now.
Well, those were some viewer comments about how hard it can be to blend families. It is hard, but we've got to have realistic expectations. Now, I want you to look at this picture. This could be the cast of the next Brady Bunch. The problem is Pete and Maureen, the mom and dad in this picture, aren't exactly like Mike and Carol Brady. Maureen says Pete picks on her kids and acts like a drill sergeant. Pete says he feels like Maureen's family is just against him. It's me versus them.
My husband and I were married 3 years ago. Between us, we have 6 children. My children live with us full-time. Pete's children are here every Tuesday and Thursday and every other weekend. We look like the picture-perfect family. Blending our families is harder than I could have ever imagined. Pete is harsher on my children than his own. He favors his children over mine.
Juliana was struggling in school, and there were some punishments, and we had to take her cell phone away. Then Melanie had some troubles in school. I had to take her cell phone away here at the house, but I couldn't take it away from her permanently because her mother pays for it.
When Melanie and Isabel are here during their weekends, Pete does more with the children. The weekend that his children are not here, he'll come home from work and go right to bed.
Melanie didn't want to come for the weekend, and she felt everything was unfair here.
I often feel Melanie wants us to get a divorce. A friend of mine called me up and said, I'm gonna have a cake for Nick on her actual birthday.
I thought that was very unfair.
I took Nick over, she had her cake, we came home, he wouldn't talk to me.
I yell, but it's just to discipline the kids.
He screams literally at the top of his lungs.
When arguments flare up, we won't talk for 2 or 3 days. I feel like every fight that we have puts us one step closer to a divorce.
Okay, what'd you think about what I was saying to Sam and Rob?
I felt like I was looking at myself.
Yeah, why?
Seemed similar situations, the favoring of the kids, the no connection between Pete and my children, and between me and his children.
Right. What did you think about what I was saying to Rob about what he is doing wrong and what he needs to do right?
I think it made a lot of sense. I need to ease up a little bit.
Somehow or another, we've got this mindset in America that because the two of you get married, that A, your kids are supposed to all of a sudden just become brothers and sisters, and that just because you are in love with him, that they are all of a sudden supposed to be in love with him, and vice versa. Who decided that? Was that decided one night when I was out of town or something? I've been doing this for over 35 years, and I'll tell you what the number one predictor is for me is not whether it goes smoothly or not whether the family life goes smoothly, not whether the marriage goes smoothly or not, but whether or not the expectations are violated. See, if you have a couple that goes in and they think, oh, this is just going to be like on TV, and I'm going to meet him at the door every night, naked with a martini, and he's going to come in and sweep me off my feet, and music is going to play, and it's going to be wonderful. If that's the expectation, and then when you get married, it's like, well, wait a minute, where's the martini, and what are you doing with those sweatpants on? And we got to pay these bills here, and we get that kid to shut up in there and turn it to, then it's like, whoa, your expectation was violated, and so you have a huge reaction. Now, if two people get married and say, boy, this is going to be an uphill battle, because we're going to start sharing time, space, money, division of labor, we got some kids we're throwing in the mix, this is going to be a rough road, but we love each other and we're going to get through it. They'll do fine. Exactly the same things can happen. The second couple will do fine, the first couple won't because their expectations were violated in the first case and not in the second. So what do Pete and Maureen's kids think about what's going on at home? We're going to hear from two of them when we come back, and then I'm going to tell you guys exactly how you can turn this thing in a positive direction. I'm going to put verbs in my sentences. It's going to be very doable.
I come from a family that's all about discipline. We really didn't have any discussions about disciplines before we got married. That was an oversight. We never talked about it.
We definitely have our differences. When it comes to discipline, I feel as though the kids are constantly being picked on.
We should have been on the same page because we're not even in the same book when it comes to discipline.
Well, that was Maureen and Pete talking about how they never discussed how they were going to discipline the kids before they got married. Well, let's hear what Pete and Maureen's kids have to say about what's going on.
You gotta sit down and eat.
My mom can favor me, Nicolette, and Anthony. She does it because we live here all week. I think Pete's tougher on me out of all the kids.
He picks on Nicolette and Juliana. Me, like Nicolette and Juliana, think that my dad's not fair.
His attitude can be like, sometimes it's cool and it's joking, and then sometimes it's rules, rules, rules all the time. Pete can treat Melanie and Isabel better than me and Nicolette and Anthony because he'll joke with them more. And then, like, my joke insults me.
My dad and Maureen got in a fight, and my dad told me to go get my jacket and stuff and my shoes because we were gonna leave, and that got me upset.
My mom and Pete fight about stupid things, and he'll walk out. He'll come back in, and then they won't talk for a couple days. And then it'll get better, but then, the next day they'll get in another fight about something stupid.
I wish that Maureen and my dad wouldn't fight anymore because I like when we're all together.
Look, one thing we know about kids that have been through rocky situations, where there's been divorce, there's been changes in the home situation, then they get into a blended family, they have needs. There is a sense of abandonment when there's a divorce, when things, it's like, hey, somebody's gone. We weren't strong enough to hold this family together. There's a sense of abandonment there. So they need a sense of acceptance. They need an assurance of safety. They need to know that where we are now is secure because they thought the other one was. And it fell apart. Now here we are in this one. Is this one going to fall apart? And they'll figure out how it's their fault if it does, I'll promise you. And then here you come saying, get your coat. We're leaving. We're getting divorced. This is over. It's like, wait a minute, I don't want to go. Take that off of your list of behaviors. That's not okay. Because you get over it, but the kids don't. It shakes the foundation. And they all said you're fighting about dumb stuff.
We do.
I agree with that.
Okay. Well, Maureen's oldest daughter, Juliana, who you just saw on the tape, is here. She says that she does notice some unfairness at home. Do you want this family to stay together?
Yeah, I really do.
Why?
Because I love Pete and I feel really close to him, and same with my mom. I trust both of them, so I love being together with them.
So you don't want to see this fractured
No.
and falling apart? One of the things that I think is a huge mistake here, huge mistake. You feel guilty if you spend time with the other's children and not your own, because you want so much for them to have a full experience of everything.
Yes.
You got upset when she took her children to a movie.
Correct.
The day before your children got there because they would like to have seen the movie.
Correct.
But that wasn't the day she got asked to go to the movie with somebody. Now let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish. You wanted her to wait to celebrate one of her daughter's birthdays until your kids got there.
Correct.
But I'm sure they celebrate their birthdays at their mother's house without having those kids over there.
We were still planning on celebrating the birthday.
Of course, I get it.
The day that they would be there.
I get it. But you just didn't want to make your kids wait because their stepsisters weren't there.
Right.
And that's a sure way to get them resenting each other. Come on.
Right.
I mean, we got to have some common sense in this. I understand there are lots of formulas and lots of psychological terms and all that I can throw at you, but we just got to have some common sense here.
I tried to, I would have never have made it an issue if Nicolette didn't come to me.
Well, yeah, but think about it. It's you're a kid and it's your birthday and you go, oh, it's my birthday, let's have some cake. No. You wait for your stepsister to be here a week from Thursday.
Right.
And it's like, oh, great.
Right.
Why don't you just put boxing gloves on them and put them in the ring? I mean, you couldn't sabotage this more if you were trying. I said there's a big mistake you're making. You need to do everything you can to support her having a unique connection with her children. Without your kids, even without the other of her kids, just to be with that child. Every kid needs to have that unique relationship with their parent, where you do things with them that you don't do with the others. I've got 2 boys. There were certain things I did with one that I didn't share with the other one. It was special, just this is what we do. And then with this one, here's what we do. And so these are my boys, Jay and Jordan. And obviously grown up now, but smiling. You need to support that, not resent it. You resent her doing things with her children without yours there. And you need to do the same thing with him. You need to support him having some alone time, some unique time, some one-on-one time with his kids. And then we have time where everybody comes together. You're threatening the base of these children by fighting in front of them all the time because they don't want to hear it. Do you want to hear it? Do any of your sisters, brothers, any of the kids want to hear it?
No.
You just kind of want them to shut up, don't you?
Yeah.
This situation can turn around. Support one another's individual relationships with your kids. Mm-hmm. Stop fighting in front of them and take the divorce word out of your vocabulary. Give these kids a chance here. I mean, come on.
I don't want to end up in divorce
Well, then
for these children.
Start with what I'm talking about, and I want to hear how this works out. Mm-hmm. Okay? All right. We're talking today about blended families who just aren't quite gelling. Now, Kelly says she doesn't always like to be around her stepkids. Take a look.
Hi, Dr. Phil. I'm a mother in a blended family. My husband and I have yours, mine, and ours, for a total of 5 children. I have 2 daughters. My husband, Wayne, has 13-year-old boy-girl twins. My problem is that I don't feel like a real mother to my stepchildren. I don't even want to be around them. His children were, in my opinion, spoiled. They were given so much before I met them. I'm cold to them because I resent them. It makes me feel like a horrible person. I don't know if this is normal. I want to be a good parent, but I'm going nuts. Am I the only step parent with this problem?
Well, I think we've answered that question already. Now, Kelly and her husband, Wayne, join us via Polycom video right now. You've been listening to the show, right?
Oh, yeah. We can relate.
I can totally relate. I've taken an awful lot away from your show today, Dr. Phil.
Well, I hope so. And here's the thing that I want to say to you, Kelly. You know, first off, you said you actually resent these kids because they've had so much. That is very unfair. I mean, they didn't choose their life. Secondly, you say that you have a hard time relating to them because they're not like you. What do you mean by that?
I just mean they have different personalities. They were raised differently. Trying to get so many people living under the same roof with different personalities and attitudes and behaviors, it's just very hard. Our kids live with us all the time. We have them 24/7.
Did anybody in America talk and think about this before you got married? I mean, you're saying, oh, it's all these people in the home, like you didn't know they were coming? I mean...
You're absolutely right. I mean, one of the things I took away was the comment you made earlier about the fact that, hey, we just kind of go into this and expect everybody to fall into place and everything's going to be great. I mean, you know, we think because we've got a great relationship and we want to be together, that everybody else is going to fall in line, and that's not the case. And I've seen that here today, and I live it on a daily basis.
Kelly, you had to know he had kids, right?
Certainly.
You didn't just meet him one night and marry him while you were drunk.
No.
So you knew he had kids.
I wish I had that excuse.
Yeah, exactly. And you knew they were coming, and they did, and so now they're all here. So look, here's the deal. It's all about these expectations. You've got to decide, okay, look, It's unreasonable for me to expect them to be like me. It's unreasonable for me to expect myself to just all of a sudden fall in love with these kids. I don't even know them. I don't know who they are. So you have to decide as the parent that, you know what? These girls just won the stepmom lottery. You need to set about getting to know them. I'm going to find something in common with the boy, something in common with the girl. I'm going to find out what they're interested in. If they're interested in a particular music they like, then go listen to that music. Learn some of those songs. If they're into a certain video game, when they're at school, go turn the damn thing on. Find some commonality so you can build a relationship with those kids. You'll feel better about yourself, and they will feel better about you.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.